Let's head over to Spain in La Liga, where Barcelona will be hosting Valencia at the new camp on Sunday at 10 p.m. And Barcelona are still top of the table and 5 points clear of the second place team.
Yes, and they are facing a Valencia side that has done tremendously well in the second half of the season. Remember, Valencia at one point in the season was 16th when they were still going through the group stage of the Champions League. Right now, when they were knocked out and relegated to the Europa League, it's like their wings were left to soar. And they are now currently 8th. And they are pushing, of course, to see if they can get a Europa League spot. Perhaps, even if they are a bit optimistic, a Champions League spot. So it will not be an easy game for Barcelona. And we have seen Barcelona play this season and lose. In fact, in the last 4 weeks, Barcelona have lost twice, something we don't often say about Barcelona. But the one thing that happened was there was no Messi there. So as long as there is a Messi in Barcelona, there is the fear factor. But if there is no Messi in Barcelona, then Barcelona is your average La Liga side.
All right, let's take a look at the last 5 matches of Barcelona, who have scored a staggering 14 goals in that run. Onesimus against Sevilla, they managed to score 6 goals.
It's not the first time that it's happening. I think the opener ended in 3-0. Just before that, Copa del Rey last season, ended in 5-0. So it's not a new result. But I'm just concerned with Barcelona. They seem to play with some kind of moods. It's like, what mood are we in today? Remember against Girona, they just went there, scored 1 goal in the first half. In the second half, came in, lost so many chances, then scored another goal. And the match ended 2-0. It's like they didn't expand too much of energy trying to outscore Girona. Then they go to Sevilla, having lost 2-0 a week before without Messi. And Messi's Barcelona really outscored Sevilla 6-1. And that doesn't even tell the whole story. It doesn't even begin to tell of how good Barcelona in that match. But the question for everyone, which might be a rhetoric question, is what constitutes a perfect season or an improved season for Barcelona in the current season? It's not them winning the Liga. It's not them winning Copa del Rey. It's not even them winning the double. It's more of how well they do in the Champions League. And that might explain why they have not been using Messi in all games.
All right. Let's take a look at the last 5 games of Valencia, who have an identical record of form to Barcelona, with only 1 loss, which they suffered against Getafe, and then beat Getafe again in their last game.
Yeah, it was the first leg they lost to Getafe in the Copa del Rey quarterfinals, and then they won the second. But what you need to look at is their La Liga form. 4 straight wins. That's 12 points out of a possible 12. And that's the type of form you want your team going into a game against Barcelona with, because the coach Marcelino can just go and tell his players, you guys have been beating these small teams from farming towns. You can now go to Catalonia.
But Villarreal is not a farming town.
Huh? And they won.
If you look at the standings,
not the town, but the team. They won the derby. Remember, Valencia versus Villarreal
is a derby. 3-0 convincingly.
It's their most important game of the season, and they won it. So he tells his players, he can tell his players very easily, you're going to face Barcelona. You have nothing to lose. Whether you win, you just go and enjoy yourself. And in such circumstances, you find players express themselves very well. In fact, I think in the last 2 or 3 seasons, the best games in La Liga to watch have been either Barcelona versus Valencia or Valencia versus Real Madrid. I remember last season at the Nou Camp, a very memorable 2-2 draw where 1-1 draw, where Jordi Alba got a last-minute equalizer. Valencia were about to take the day. So Valencia have what it takes to beat Barcelona. Whether they can execute it is another story.
They have what it takes to beat Barcelona, but haven't beaten Barcelona in their last 5 games. 4 losses and 1 draw.
You just have a look at this Valencia team, and to be honest, when you're playing 4-4-2, you expect your 2 players at the top to be the top scorers in the team. But that's not happening. Rodrigo is not getting the goods. I think he had a forgettable first half of the season, because currently Pareo is their top scorer.
Yeah, I think Rodrigo had a World Cup hangover.
It's frustrating because him and Mina are not getting the goals. When you're not getting the goals and you're facing a Barcelona team that can score from any point. Remember, they had 6 goals. and only Coutinho had 2 goals, and one was a pen. The others are different scorers. It tells you a story of a team that has scorers everywhere, playing against a team that Pareo is leading with only 4 goals. In I think now 21 matches. It's not good enough. They really need to improve on that.
All right, let's take a look at the odds of that game. Barcelona versus Valencia, with Barcelona having an odd of 1.28. A draw goes for 3.40. And what an odd for Valencia, 11. Steve, do you still think they have any hope in this fixture?
I strongly feel Barcelona will not field a strong side because of the side they fielded on Thursday. And you know they've now signed...
But these are players who are used to playing
You know, when you
midweek,
talk about...
yeah.
The thing about him talking about a strong team and the absence of one is made up of one person in Messi.
It's
Messi, yeah.
So Messi is the
in
determinant.
short, I don't think Messi will play.
Messi will have to
because
play.
you know
A
Valentine's...
5-point difference between them and Atletico is not something that you can be comfortable with.
But you know, me and you are not Valverde. And we can follow Valverde's patterns. If Valverde plays Messi on a Thursday, Valverde will not start Messi on a Sunday.
Okay, does it mean that if he plays in the Champions League, he won't play in the league in the weekend?
The
Yes.
thing is, I think Steve has a point, but his point is somehow very, very not sharp at all. It's not a sharp point. It's a broken pencil somehow.
Okay, principal, enlighten us.
Because what has been happening is that depending on the caliber of positions they are facing next,
Yes.
that's when it decides to pick Messi or not. Valencia are not whipping boys, so definitely Messi himself won't want to sit out of it.
Yeah.
Okay, assuming Messi starts, look at all the supporting cast. You don't expect all of them to start. Because the strongest Barcelona side possible for Valverde started on Thursday. The Busquets, all of them, the Albas, the Coutinhos, they started on Thursday. It is inevitable that there will be rotations. I expect not to see Rakitic.
Was it on Thursday or
Vidal there.
Wednesday?
It was Wednesday.
Wednesday, yes.
Yes,
Wednesday,
yes.
You have 2 days to rest.
But really, I think they are going to field their strongest team.
Yeah.
I feel-
This is a potential banana skin. You can almost feel it by looking at the fixture, even before analyzing anything of how the teams have been performing currently. But then, when you know Valencia are on a very good, strong run, you just have to feel this is a potential banana skin. It doesn't come any better than this.
All right, give me your odds, your predictions.
I think Barcelona will score over 2.5 goals.
Over 2.5 goals
for
in that
Barcelona.
game. For Barcelona.
Not even the match.
Barcelona.
Yeah, we'll score over
All right.
2.5 matches.
Steve,
For me, both teams to score.
both teams, you're
Yes.
playing it safe.
Yes.
All right, Steve plays it safe with a GG there. And Onesmus says Barcelona over 2.5 goals. Barcelona, not the game. Barcelona over 2.5 goals. Well, we're taking a short break. And after the break, we'll be looking at the multi-bets of this weekend.
Missed out on some weekend footballing action? Perhaps that last-minute winner? That controversial moment?
This is the Champions League headline being written.
Or even some off-field drama?
Respect.
With the help of expert analysts and of course you the fans will be covering all matters football.
Character within these players is magnificent. Also during the World Cup, Hazard was at the top of his game.
Tune in to Monday Night Football with me, your host Mohamed Abubakar from 8:30 p.m. on Bamba Sport, your home of true fans.
Karibu Betin.
Betting
Karibu Betini.